What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today I have for you Forgotten 5. 5 knives that you may have forgotten about. Before we dive in, double check and make sure you are subscribed here to the channel. I'd love to have you hit that thumbs up. It really helps push the video out there so more people have a chance to check it out. Let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. Love hearing from you and what you're carrying. So we're going to kick the video off with the Kizer Tousser K here, and I mainly try to focus on more affordable knives, and this video will consist of very affordable knives, but mainly consisting of knives that I feel like have been forgotten about in one way or another, whether just enough time has passed or maybe it's even a more recent knife that's been released, you know, over the last couple of months that I just feel like didn't get enough play throughout the YouTube sphere, right? But in the case of the Kizer Tousser K here, this isn't extremely old, but I think it's old enough that for people who are definitely new to the knife community, which there are tons of people coming in every single day, there's going to be knives that you just don't know about, because mostly knife YouTube is about the latest and the greatest. So knives that are, you know, even a month old, if you just come in today, there's a good chance you may not see a knife that just came out last month. So I like to do videos like this to try to bring knives that are older back to the forefront. This is an awesome EDC knife right here. 154 cm, satin finish blade. It is a modified sheep's foot, nice and tall, comes down nice and thin. Still have some semblance of a pokey tip there. You do have dual thumb studs. This has multi-row bearings in it, which means it is going to be incredible on the opening and closing action. You can just see it just fall shut, nice and smooth, nice and buttery. The detent is tuned to absolute perfection for those studs. This one has rich light. It's got that kind of honeycomb pattern. We have a deep carry clip here, and it will be reversible for left-handed people out there. Very comfortable, and these are nowadays very, very affordable. And there's also sheep's foot versions, and there's a lot of different flavors of this knife that you can pick up right now. I will try to have all the links that I can for all these knives down below. It might be just the company's website, but you can easily find the knife through that. If you do use one of them links, it does help out the channel. That is up to you though, of course. The next knife I wanted to talk about is a knife that I raved almost a full year about. The CJRB Riff here, a phenomenal button lock, built like an absolute tank. You have a fuller and rear flipper for deployment, a stone-washed, semi-clip point style of blade, but it still maintains a fairly low tip, just about even with the pivot, just a hair above actually, but still going to be very good if you need some preciseness out of that tip. And then the action on this for a button lock is absolutely ridiculous. It feels like it has a true detent in there, and anyone that has a Riff is going to tell you the same thing. Some really nice micarta for the handle material, and then we have a deep carry reversible clip, RPM 9 for the steel, if I didn't say that. Pretty much if we're talking about any CJRB that's come out in the last year and a half up until now and in the future is going to be coming in RPM 9, but just in case you don't know that, then we do have open construction here, and these are going to come in at an awesome price, probably right around 50 bucks. If you're looking for, you know, button locks, plunge locks can be finicky as far as lockup is concerned, but there are some out there that are dependable to an extent. And the Riff here is definitely a knife that, in the button lock world, I would say is a dependable button lock. Next up, we have, at one point in time, this was my budget knife of the year. And even now, coming in right around 50 bucks, we have the affordable Miguron Centurion, not to be confused with the premium Centurion 2. But This is out of this world good. 14C 28N, PVD coated, clip point style of blade. We have dual thumb studs and a rear flipper tab for deployment. Really nice and snappy on that detent. And then we have a nice controlled closing action. We have semi-contoured G10 handles here. We have a milled tie clip here. We have anodized aluminum pivot collars. Great access to that liner. This is a fantastic knife for around $50. It is insane. 14C, contoured G10, and a milled tie clip in a full-size knife. That's a solid build for around 50 bucks. This thing is extremely, extremely hard to beat even now. Still maintaining one of my favorite budget knives of all time, and I don't know if it'll ever leave that category. The CMB Predator 2, or the Predator 1 if you could ever find one, but mainly the Predator 2 here. This is coming in 14C as well. There's a bunch of different versions of this, just like the previous three. Bunch of different versions of all these knives. This has the black washed drop point blade coming in 14C. Beautiful sharpening choil. You have dual thumb studs for deployment. CMB does a phenomenal job on their crossbar locks. Nice strong springs. Easy to get to that crossbar lock and easy to disengage. Some beautiful red micarta here. Very, very well done stuff. All blacked out hardware and liners. We have a matching micarta backspacer and a nice minimal slim deep carry clip, going to be reversible. Love this knife. It's a good size, it's comfortable as all hell, and it's just going to get the job done. And for right around $60, I believe they still are, an amazing, amazing EDC knife that definitely will never be forgotten about as long as I'm around. And here we have the Artisan Cutlery Ahab. This is one of Artisan's affordable knives down in the CJRB territory. It is coming in RPM 9. We have this harpoon modified drop point blade, and it comes down ultra thin. We have these old school looking thumb studs here. We have G10 handles, a titanium milled clip, titanium geared backspacer, incredible detent on that opening action. Pretty good access to the liner. That was kind of my only nitpick with this knife. I just tightened this up. It does have a hidden pivot, so you pop these off in order to get in there, but it maintains a clean aesthetic. It's a good size. It's got a nice pokey tip, razor thin behind the edge. Really cool aesthetic to the entire knife. And since you have that hidden pivot, you know, it doesn't look like every other folding knife that has a normal pivot there. So that is under the scale. And once you Loctite that up, you pretty much don't have to worry about it unless you know, drop it in a bucket of mud or something like that. But the Artisan Ahab, definitely a phenomenal knife from Artisan / CJRB. They do a really good job, especially on their budget line of knives. Really, really good stuff. You guys will have to let me know, what are some knives that you think have come out in the past that have just been forgotten about? Maybe you will see that knife on the next episode of Forgotten Knives. Be sure to let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, we release videos just like this one every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. I'd love to have you here. I'll put up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I will catch you on the next one.